Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
So the second half of our webinar today will be focusing on a detailed full month of an MCLU. So this is where we've had the catch-up session now. This is now for the full month of November, which contains all of October's updates. All right, so let's get straight into it. Right, so as you can see, these are our normal 8 subcategories, and these are the normal amounts of items that we've got every month. Under accounting, we've got 1, auditing and other assurance 1, company secretarial 6, employment law 3, other laws and regulations 4, which is quite a lot for those 2 items there. Tax only 9 this month. Regulator news as per usual, quite a bit, 18 of them. And under general announcements, just the 1. So let's quickly go back to my webinar material so that I can show you here what it looks like. There we go. On my other screen, you'll see that this is the table of contents for my November material. Right. And there you'll see there's the 1 item for under accounting, the 1 under auditing, the 6 under company secretarial. So really, if you want to know what happened in a month, this is where you go and have a look. All right. So I thought what I'll do as an additional extra for you on your webinar material for the catch-up session, I will add in the monthly subheadings for you so that you can see what was added from which month, because that will follow the same suit. All right. So that you can see what came in from which months. But here you'll see exactly under employment law what came into effect there. Under other laws and regulations, taxation, the 18 items there, regulator news, 18 items there, and the general announcements. Right. So let's get stuck into the actual document. Let's start this side with the IFRS monthly news summary. For accounting, onto the IFRS monthly news update. So you'll see what I've got here on the slide. I've got here the 4 main items that I found in the summary. And the first one contains investor perspectives, which is amendments to IFRS 17 to make it easier for insurers to explain results. So all that this is it's a discussion by one of the board members, right, who is Nick Anderson, and he discusses the new disclosures of the proposed amendments that were published in June this year. So that's all. He discusses the new disclosures that the board proposed as part of the package of the proposed amendments to IFRS 17. So even though it's only a proposal at this stage, those of you that have a lot of clients in this industry might want to go here. So here's really where you'll decide on a monthly basis, well, what was Lettie thinking? We're never going to use this. Remember that I've got to try and put together a package that sort of can apply to all of you. All right. So if you're not going to use this one, good for you. Most of the times, the IFRS monthly summary is not really one of the hottest topics. Right. Unless we've got one like this month, which we've got the compilation of 2019 agenda decisions published. So this is the IFRS Foundation's first biannual compilation, and it takes all the agenda decisions that were published by the Interpretations Committee from January to September, and it's got them all together. Right. It is a very big document. It is a big one, but I have got it for you. Right. So in terms of your IFRS agenda volume document there, it's a 48-page document, and that's it. They call it volume 1. It's from January to September. So if you wanted to know, it's just the agenda decisions here are few and far between. It's got dates in. It's got, for instance, under for revenue from contracts with customers. It'll have in there the amendment that they had in June, which related to costs to fulfilling a contract, or leases which included the incremental borrowing rate which comes from September now. So they've got all of it in date order. Right. So it's quite a nice one, but that's all the agenda decisions if you want to see it. We like to include the accounting updates only when the changes actually become effective, unless it's something big that we've got to gear up for. Right. So that's the agenda decisions. Then there's another nice little document here that speaks to the opportunities and challenges for 2020. Now, what's nice about this is it's actually the speech that they used, or that Hans Hogervorst used. He's the chair of the IASB. He delivered the opening speech at the annual gathering of accounting standard setters from all around the globe. Right, and that's what he used here. So this is his speech, and it talks quite nicely about what next year one might hold in store for us. So it's quite nice if you want to try and look through his looking glass to see what he's got in his glass ball. All right. They did say that 2020 is going to be really busy. All right. So have a look at that. You're more than welcome to have a look at all of the items there. And then as per usual, we've got the October 2019, the IASB update that is published. And that's basically just a podcast that is available to guide you through the decisions that were taken by the IASB. Right. So you can have a look at that. But it's also, they're focusing on their projects that are linked to financial instruments quite a lot. Right. On the next slide, we've got our auditing and other assurance services. And there was also only the one document here. This document was issued as a communique by IRBA, and they issued this guidance because they said they realize now that clarification is still needed with regards to using the use of registered auditor of RA when we RAs sign off on an audit or a review or other assurance reports. So what is it now? So it was a 2-page document that was issued on the 14th of October. So what they said is when RAs are signing off either an audit or a review or other assurance reports, they have to be reminded of paragraph 115.6 SA. Now that's the paragraph of the IRBA code, which was, remember, revised in November. And that paragraph states, the individual registered auditor responsible for audit review or other assurance shall, when signing any audit review or other assurance report certificate, reflect the following. The individual registered auditor's full name. Full name. So mine will have to be not just Lettie, it'll have to be Aletta Cecilia, right? The whole katoot. So it has to be the full names. That, together with, if I'm not a sole proprietor, the capacity in which I'm signing. Am I signing in my capacity as partner or director or what? What am I signing as? Right, if not a sole proprietor. So if you are the sole proprietor, you don't have to put there sole practitioner or sole proprietor. You don't have to. The third one you've got to include is the designation RA underneath your name, because you are signing this in your capacity as registered auditor. And lastly, if it's not set out on the firm's letterhead, then the name of your audit firm as well. So, I mean, 9 out of the 10 times it's on your letterhead. I mean, mine is all the time. So it would not be, I would not need to do that. Okay. So really what happens here is the effect of this requirement is that all RAs, irrespective of what their registration status is, whether it's assurance or non-assurance, the IRBA code doesn't differentiate between that. Okay, so R115.6 SAB, if you're not a sole proprietor with any other professional designation, they don't differentiate between the RA's registration status with IRBA, so whether you are assurance or non-assurance. So that paragraph applies equally to RAs who are registered as non-assurance and not. So it's very important that you as an RA, you've got to make sure that IRBA's got your correct status on record. So you are therefore now asked in your individual annual return whether you perform assurance work. If you said no, your status is going to reflect as non-assurance work. So if it's now subsequently established that you are in fact now performing assurance work, then you might be subject to a disciplinary investigation by IRBA.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.